Anytime you're starting something, even though the technological issues that you guys are extremely familiar with it might be very easily solved with a lot of technologies that are out there, you got to go convince everybody else before you can do it. So our strategy is to bridge offline activities with our features and content. So we have all of these communities in the stores, and what we really want to do is engage the users themselves in the stores, not just the people who are online. And so one of the ways that we want to do that is through putting an infrastructure in our stores that also has geospatial technology. You guys may be familiar with GigaPan. Google co-developed this with NASA and Carnegie Mellon University. And one of the things that we want to do is take large images like this and embed them in maps. But treat the image itself as a map. And there are a lot of sites that do that already. What we want to do is take this and put this in, perhaps we could put it in a touchscreen in the stores where the users themselves actually pick one part of the photo that they're interested in, and actually with their fingers just sort of touch it and expand it. This is the South Col, which is a perennially important place to go camping when you're on your way to the very top of the summit. What we want to do is take a variety, and this is, by the way, this is the GigaPan itself. This is the robotic camera that takes the picture. Very inexpensive. They're planning on producing it for about $300 a piece. And so if we can get this into the hands of a lot of people, if we can get things like the iFi into the hands of a lot of people, it just makes it very easy for our users to utilize all these great technologies that you guys are working on. So for us, it's not a matter of creating these technologies or even using them in particularly innovative ways. It's really taking all of these things that you guys are working on and putting them in the hands of the 3 million active members that we communicate with every day. And so that's one of the reasons why I want to talk to you guys about this sort of thing, because you're really one half of the equation. You guys are creating the technology that we want to put in the other half of the equation, which is our members. So that's I don't really have anything to show you in terms of an API or a map because I haven't built it yet. We don't even really know what the fundamental structures are going to be. We haven't built an infrastructure for this yet. We're really in the idea phase, and this is a great place to be for ideas, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Yes. Well, it's changing. So the question was how many people are buying online as opposed to who are buying in the store. So I'd say we're at about 300 million, somewhere around there, in online sales. So that's I'd say that's approaching a fifth of our sales. So we have 100 stores. That's the equivalent of, I don't know, that's about the equivalent of like 20 stores, something like that. So more and more. In fact, what we find is that right now we really sort of braced ourselves because the economy has been having some performance issues. And so we were expecting those performance issues to hit us. Now, there was a school of thought that said, well, maybe people will buy tents and sleeping bags and have these staycations, and that'll kind of carry us through. And there were other people that thought, well, no, we're really, no one really needs anything. In fact, that we've gone on this operating principle for a long time. Nobody really needs anything at REI. Everything we have is stuff that you want, right? So we figured that logic says that we're going to crash and burn during periods of economic stress. As it turns out, what's happening is we're selling more online than we expected this year, and we're selling a little bit less in the stores, although the stores are doing reasonably well. So we don't know if that acceleration is due to the current economic situation or if that's just natural. It's just the natural progression of continuing to add services that you can play on your GPS machine, like a Garmin Colorado, and they're starting to be able to put them on GPS-enabled cell phones. These are games that require you to be outside in order to play them because you're associating GPS waypoints with things that happen in the game. And it's a great way, if you want to get, these days, if you want to get children outside, and that's one of our top priorities is to get children outside, you've got to trick them. And this is one great way to trick kids into going outside, and mobile is, I think, going to be a critical pathway to that. I think one of the big questions for us, and there's in the past there's been a lot of resistance to using technology and what we do, because we do love the outdoors so much. When I first came to REI, the first thing I mentioned in a big meeting that we had was that the last time I went camping, I video conferenced out of my tent with my laptop and I was met with these gasps of horror, right? that I would do that, and that got me to thinking. And I created this whole big speech, and I give it all around the REI campus now. That our mission is to get people outside. Our mission is not to get people outside on our terms. So although many of us go outside in order to escape technology, which I suspect that that's what you're getting at, but increasingly, especially this is important with regards to diversity, increasingly younger people, and really people of all ages, because for instance, the geocaching community is not a young community, yet they're engaging in technology all the time. But to a large degree, a lot of the youth don't see the outdoors or any of their fun activities as a way of escaping technology. In fact, they want to engage with technology outside. And we would rather, if you're going to engage with technology, we'd rather you do it outside than in a dark cave somewhere.
Okay, on that note, thank you, Rico.
Well, I do hope you got something useful or interesting out of our Humble Meetup Group podcast. It's a pleasure to put together for you. If you want more information about our meetup, log on to web.meetup.com/49. If you have ideas, thoughts, concerns, or questions, please email podcast@endpointenvironmental.com. Until next time, I'm Catherine Burton. Thanks for listening.